Hello everyone and welcome back to another Outlast lore video with just another guy on the internet. In today's video I want to revisit a topic I haven't talked about in a while, and that is actually regarding the secret building or secondary vocational block in Outlast Whistleblower. I've already made a video last year for Outlast Week in which, if you haven't seen that video, I basically talk about and give my theory as to what I think the purpose of that building is. But ever since making that video, I've actually changed my theory, mostly due in part of further analysis and even discussions I've had with you all. So this video will now serve as basically a revision of that past video, and it's going to replace the old video in the Outlast Week series. So hopefully you guys enjoy, and let's begin. So let's actually start with some basic information first. Now, what is a secret building or secondary vocational block? It is this large structure here located all the way back here. It is essentially just another vocational block, but that isn't really what makes it an interesting and mysterious area. It's basically the fact that it's the only location of both games that we don't actually end up visiting. I first noticed the building during one of my playthroughs in 2017, and the purpose and meaning behind this building has definitely intrigued me, so to say. But after a few years, we finally may have uncovered its purpose. So now let's start to crack down on the actual building itself. Like I mentioned before, the structure really essentially is just modeled just like the vocational block. What it means is that it really can't be used for something completely different than what the vocational block is used for. The term vocational refers to an occupation or employment, so it's likely that patients would engage in tasks like sewing and woodworking as a way to pursue careers once they actually leave the asylum. Recently, a viewer by the name of Dasher's Beats put forward a theory that's honestly quite intriguing. Here's what he left in the comments on one of my videos. There are two vocational blocks, male and female. So that's a very interesting idea of what he thinks the secret building might be. Of course, to have a good theory, you're going to need some evidence to support it, and Dasher made some very good points further in the comment thread. This makes sense because insane/criminals never have unisex workplaces/clinic wards. Only prison can be unisex because of its capsule type. So the secret building is just another copy of Gluskin's lair, just with female working inventory, but with the same layout. So this is some pretty good evidence. Up until the 1950s and 60s, most asylums had separate facilities for men and women. Since Mount Massive opened its doors in 1967, it would most likely follow these same guidelines based on the separate wards for men and women, so it's not unreasonable to assume the very same concept would also apply to the workspaces. The long hallway we're passing to the tower leads to female vocational through a prison. So female patients are passing the prison and going to their work, since male patients roam through one hallway. The hallway in question that he's referring to is this hallway here that we passed through in the drying ground after shutting off the electricity. This also makes sense as further examination of the area, with the help of FreeCam, leads us to discover this hallway actually connects to the prison block. What's even more intriguing is the area it would lead to a C block in the prison, and according to him, this would be the female side of the prison. Also, we haven't seen the C block of the prison, so it contained female criminals before the pregnancy incident. Of course, there are no women at the asylum by the time the game takes place, and it would certainly help to explain why this section of the prison is completely abandoned, save for a pile of corpses, when compared to B block or D block, which are filled with variants roaming around and locked up. Again, the male and female prisoners would be kept separate, so realistically there would have to be two separate workplaces. While the male patients would go through this hallway, the female patients go through here, keeping them completely separate with absolutely no interaction among them. Like I've said before, this theory would help explain the purpose of this hallway here, and also why there appears to be two of the exact same buildings. So basically, they serve the same purpose, just for a different group of people. Now that we've got the purpose of the block figured out, What would the inside look like if we could actually visit in game? Well, my idea is that the interior would essentially just be identical to the vocational block. Since the interior color scheme is pretty utilitarian, i.e. a simple brick pattern and white paint, there's really nothing they would have to alter, so it wouldn't be like the male and female ward where you have a different color scheme with the blue and pink headboards. So there would probably still be things like a gymnasium and workshop areas, as there would be really no point to change anything. So basically, the most likely purpose of the secret building is that it is simply just another vocational block, but for female patients. Let me guys know what you think of Dasher's Beat's theory, and it's also probably going to be basically also my theory as well. He does make some really good points here, and I'm honestly quite surprised I never actually even thought of that. It's a really good theory, I must say. It's got some really good evidence to back it up. So I'm curious to hear what your guys' thoughts are on it. If you do have any other theories, please do let me know, and I will consider them, because we really don't know what the secondary vocational block is. I mean, it's kind of obvious, really, if there's going to be two of the exact same buildings. Maybe if the secret building was like something different, if it looked different, but here it's basically just another vocational block. So really, I think the only logical assumption is that it's just going to be just a female version of it. So yeah, guys, that's pretty much gonna be it for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed that, and I will be seeing you in the next video. So until then, bye for now.